NordVPN powers today's video. It's also powered by Determination, as I had this script written twice in total, and both times either accidentally deleted it or had part of the file corrupt. However, it's here, albeit very late, so I do apologise for this. Boeing's middle-of-the-market aeroplane has been discussed now for what's felt like years. Towards 2019, we felt like we were getting closer and closer to a potential aircraft reveal. However, very quickly, all those plans genuinely just seemed to fade away into the darkness as more pressing issues became present, as the American aircraft manufacturer had a focus involving and also surrounding the 737 MAX crisis, with two of those aircraft sadly crashing, quality assurance difficulties ongoing with the Boeing 787 that resulted in multiple groundings, and general delays to the 777X, which, might I add, initially were indeed out of Boeing's control and were central to the GE9X engine. Lastly, of course, the emergence of the global pandemic in early 2020, coming at one could argue the worst possible time for the development of said aircraft. However, new comments have emerged in recent weeks regarding the same NMA, and they're incredibly intriguing, but also I'd probably say a bit of a kick in the face to many people that were, say, excited at the prospect of a new aircraft coming sooner rather than later to the sector, and that is a sector that is currently seeing European aircraft manufacturer Airbus run riot with their A321neo program, and now of course their most recent A321XLR, set for a launch in the coming years. Boeing is yet to have a proper answer, and customers awaiting said aircraft are beginning to lose patience, with many already pulling the plug and moving towards Airbus. The CEO said that for now they are not looking towards launching an NMA, as it is now deemed for them, generally speaking, not necessary for their future operations, for now at least. The room for that does definitely change given how the industry moves in different directions on a continued basis. It's noted that they are several years away from launching a new model which would help combat the higher sales experienced at Airbus, which has presented its challenges. However, Boeing has had so many other issues that they're attempting to sort out, even so deep-rooted into their business, that focusing on such an aircraft has undoubtedly been difficult. In addition, they have faced several pressures from existing big aviation companies in the very industry that they're a part of, notably from the Air Lease Corporation, who have, since even 2018, continued to press Boeing over such an aircraft that they believe is necessary, following them getting a gauge of interest with crucial customers, those customers being big airlines around the world. Newer technologies are also fundamental when launching a new plane. You simply don't want something that will, say, age poorly, especially in this time. So establishing a new aircraft can be more complex than it looks. Boeing wants to make sure that whenever they move forward with their new aircraft, it'll be one that'll be great strides ahead of anything they have previously done. And while, of course, it'll be overall an aircraft that can complement any airline's fleet, it'll also be one that will be strides ahead of anything else in that specific airline's operations, and therefore in its own right make itself such an attractive option it simply can't refuse. It means that moving forward with a launch at this time wouldn't allow Boeing, according to the CEO, to maximize the benefits of the aircraft that it could have. He wants these newer technologies and potential ones to come in the future to have time to mature within the aviation industry and develop to which a point where they can include it on commercial aviation aircraft, rather than, say, their defense programs that are mainly seeing newer technologies introduced. Interest is, and I firmly believe, along with many others, will always be there for such an aircraft. The Boeing NMA, back in 2019, of course when discussions were red hot surrounding it, had a reported interest from some 50 plus potential customers, and had an initial expected launch for the mid-2020s. Delta at the time were lining up themselves to be the launch customer for such an aircraft that would help replace their Boeing 757s and Boeing 767s, which ultimately is what the NMA was pitched to replace. However, as we know, nothing has progressed with such an aircraft, making an order also not possible at the same time. It's also a market that was set to be incredibly important, and still to this day, even with the emergence of the pandemic, will be one with a high amount of possible orders. Analysts predicted towards the back end of the 2010s that a market of 4,000 to 5,000 aircraft would be possible over 2 decades. That, of course, would be spread across both Airbus and Boeing. However, Boeing will be plotting their next move carefully, with the A321neo series going unanswered at this stage. For now, however, you could certainly argue that there's more pressing matters that do exist, like the 787, which still has delivery suspended at the time this video will be going live, the 777X having those ongoing certification delays, and of course, certifying the final member of the MAX family, that being the 737 MAX 10, which is an aircraft that's encountered its own delays. Of course, in saying all this, it doesn't mean that therefore results in the new middle-of-the-market airliner not being of priority, but it certainly seems like Boeing will continue to take their time, ensuring that upon launch and eventual first flight, they've got everything down pat, which honestly may just be the best for the long term. Especially with, in the past, you can argue the profit side of things being put more on the forefront of their minds rather than the safety and general benefits the aircraft may have. This year alone has definitely been hectic. 15 total flights has taken me around the world multiple times, and I've spent 2 months traveling. Since 2017, and especially now, I have looked towards NordVPN to help protect me, whether it be unwanted interruptions at Doha's airport, or privacy in public settings. It's kept me invisible while also preventing me from having malware-ridden websites damage my devices and my privacy. But there's more to NordVPN, and I'll get onto that shortly. From the busy life of Los Angeles to the streets of Japan, having recently launched Threat Protection, it offers a more comprehensive security against cyber threats through blocking trackers, malicious ads like I mentioned, and harmful websites. They continue to innovate, and with 5,500 servers in a whopping 60 countries, you'll definitely be hard-pressed not to find a country of content that you wish to view. You can get an exclusive NordVPN deal at www.nordvpn.com/DJsAviation, and by using my code, which is DJsAviation, you'll get a 1 additional month completely free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also easily add NordPass and NordLocker to your purchase. NordPass and NordLocker are behind the minds of NordVPN. NordPass being a password manager, allowing you to store your passwords in a secure vault, perfect for holding all those logins for airline accounts. Whereas NordLocker is a secure cloud storage service, meaning you can keep your files encrypted and accessible from anywhere in the world. But it's over to you now. What are your thoughts on the latest for Boeing's new aircraft? I think we're going to be many, many years away from a potential launch, and the 2-year or couple of year time frame indicated by the Boeing CEO might not entirely be accurate, especially if he would like newer technology to mature. It's not going to mature too much over 2 years, and I think in, say, the space of 5 years, something new may appear, or something they're working on may become present and can be installed on these newer aircraft, really standing them apart from existing competition, and of course, being leaps and strides ahead of the 757, 767, and maybe even partly the 737 MAX. You can let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks very much for watching, and to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I will indeed see you next time.